can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy.
The Sandman. For the uninitiated, The Sandman, a story by Neil Gaiman, as noted before, is one of those stories about what are essentially the Endless. The Endless basically being these beings who are anthropomorphic personifications of the concepts they represent. There's death, dream, despair, desire, so on and so on and so forth. They all start with D's. All them. You know what I mean? All them. For those curious, those are all of the Endless. What you kind of need to know going into this is that Dream, and this isn't a spoiler because honestly, the first episode focuses on this pretty heavily, but it happens within the first few minutes, and it's kind of what kicks this show off is that there's a man by the name of, Roderick Burgess. He wants to capture death. He literally sets out to capture death. However, he doesn't get death. He gets Dream instead. And the Sandman himself basically is locked in this, for lack of a better way to put it, he's in a stasis. He can't leave. He really can't do jack shit. He's literally just stuck. He's literally just stuck in this, circle.
He is stuck.
Yeah, he really is. And it's funny to me because, he keeps Sandman captive for what feels like 5 ever. He literally keeps the dude captive.
5 ever.
Yeah. He kept him. He kept the Sandman locked away. I think in the comics it was like 70 plus years, but in this they made it 100 years,
whole century.
And of course, in the time that he is locked away, his realm, the Dreaming, when he returns to it, it's not the same.
Look
as
like downtown Los Angeles.
Look, yeah, like when he comes back, his shit is withered, broken, and busted. Looked like somebody ran in and just tore his whole house up and left.
Yeah, that's Skid Row. As soon as I saw it, I said, "Yep."
Oh yeah, Skid Row, 100%.
That's what tripped me out about it. It's just like, hold on, because the one thing that you weren't mentioning was that Terry and Daddy wasn't looking for Dream. First off.
No, I did say that. I said he was looking for death.
Well, yeah, he was looking for death just for the reason of bringing back a child. So
yeah, he wanted his son back.
It almost seemed like they were trying to get you to kind of look at it from a different perspective of him grieving.
Well, yeah, no, they did. They really were, but it's one of those deals who is like Roderick Burgess in comics or TV show, not a good person.
Yeah.
Period. He's
exactly.
He's a terrible father too. Let's put that out there as well. But
I like the fact that they wanted you to feel for him, but seeing as how we've only seen him as a bad person in everything, even though he grieving, fuck him.
It's like, man, Tywin Lannister go eat a dick. Charles Dance is one of those actors. When you see him, you just immediately put him with Tywin or any other villain he's ever played. And you're just like, nope, this dude's terrible. Not a good person. I automatically know not to trust this guy. It's basically acting shorthand 101. It's what Hollywood does. They get an actor who typically plays bad people, put him in a role where he's the bad guy, and that way there's almost no way you'll empathize with him. Like, nope, he's a bad guy clearly because he plays bad guys and everything else. It's kind of like Sean Bean. You instantly empathize with Sean Bean because you know he's gonna die. You know he's gonna die. He just is. You know.
It's like us. If we were in a romantic movie or a Tyler Perry movie, you know, off rip, everybody in chat knows because you all need to get the likes up like immediately. But anybody that's my skin tone or Ernie skin tone,
you the bad guy.
We the villain like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, you the bad guy. You the bad guy. 100%.
Villain like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, dude. Look,
we finna get whooped by some nice looking light skinned brother with a 6-pack.
Oh yeah.
We ain't shit.
And whoever the woman was we have wronged, she is gonna get piped out to some gospel music. Just go ahead and get ready for it. Some R&B soul music. She about to get piped out hardcore after that light-skinned brother beats our ass. We gonna act a monkey. We gonna act a whole monkey at the beginning of the movie, but we gonna catch it. But no, so basically this whole show follows Dream as he's making his his triumphant return, from being in captivity for as long as he was, as he's making his comeback. He's trying to basically get everything that happened to the dreaming. He's trying to get everything put back the way it was, because once again, as we stated earlier, in the dreaming, everything has crumbled. Most of the dreams and nightmares have left, and really one of the only people, and I ain't trying to do the sister like this, but just this look was priceless and I had to capture it. But one of the only people who's left in the dreaming that stuck around to try and make sure everything was right was Lucian. And I love this look, because she looking over the glasses like I ain't gonna lie, when I saw this, I already knew what she was thinking. I already knew what she was like, really? But no, I really like what they did with this, because for those who know, that was Sandman was 75 issues, over 30 years, plus tons of spin-off comics, prequels, Sandman Overture, and all the other various and sundry different characters had their own series, and minis. Lucifer spun off.
Have you read any of the Sandman universe books at all?
A little bit here and there, not all of them, but I've kind of kept up with some of them here. They get pretty wild. They get pretty wild. And that's another thing about this that I like too, is that you bring up those books. A lot of stuff from the prequels and the side stories, wider universe stuff, while a lot of it doesn't show up directly in this, some of it is hinted at for context in this show, to not to 100% degree, but to a certain extent, which I love a lot. This show changes a lot of things, because they didn't have the ability to do all the DC stuff, because they were they had to mix up, like, for once again, Etrigan the Demon, not in this show, but
he was in Sandman.
Well, no, they have a character like him that shows up.
Oh no, I just meant the original series. I didn't know Etrigan showed up in the original series.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, yeah. So, basically, what happened was, I think it was in issue number 3. It might have been I think it was It was the issue that he went to hell. Yeah, it was issue number 4. Issue number 4. Etrigan the Demon shows up. Like, so without saying, like, the part of the show where he's going through hell and the demon that's talking to him that rhymes, that was Etrigan. That was Etrigan in the comic, and then because they couldn't use Etrigan the Demon, they swapped him out.
Okay. I didn't know how many came for just a reference for you all, because Ernie may remember, but only experience I have with Sandman is Overture. I read all of the Overture. I bought the single issues of Overture because I had the volume 2 omnibus that had the second half of Sandman, but I ended up never reading it because I ended up getting Overture, which was the prequel to the series. So anything Sandman that I'm experiencing on this show is first time deal. So I thought the only character that came from Sandman that's in DC right now was Constantine, and I know that that character got changed for the show, but I didn't know Etrigan showed up.
They basically what they did was, while in the original comics it was John Constantine or Constantine rather, for the comics, John Constantine was in the first, I think the second or third issue of Sandman in the very beginning, and I think he came back later. But for the show, since they couldn't use John Constantine, they switched it to Joanna Constantine, who's a character who shows up earlier in the book as in like a flashback, and then that was like one of Constantine's ancestors, like your earlier ancestors, who kind of came on down through the years, and the next thing you got Joanna Constantine back again, whatever. who's
Now,
descended from.
Is there a reason that Etrigan and John can't show up on the show?
Because this is, while it's affiliated with DC, it's not like they don't have access to those characters because of a licensing issue. Netflix is basically because Sandman exists in a weird bubble because it's a part of the DC Comics universe, but it's actually more Vertigo DC than is, and it's now DC Black Label. But that's kind of part of it. But there was also some other stuff that kind of came in. Like, case in point, Hawkman's son is on this show. And they call him by his name. They call him by his name. But they don't make any references to Hawkman. Not any that are like anyone would catch. So like Hector Hall, that is the son of Carter Hall, the Hawkman. And Lyta Hall, that's Hector. Like, so I'll save the rest of it for later because it's technically it gets into some crazy territory. But so basically they're able to address this entire wide world of all of the different, Sandman everything. And at the same time, even though, once again, like I just mentioned, they have Joanna Constantine, who, once again, they have flipped the character to be a woman, and make it more in line with the ancestor Joanna Constantine from before. They've also they've made various and sundry other changes. I know one of the other things people love to bring up is how they race swapped, they blackwashed Death, which it shouldn't matter. The Endless can look like whatever they want. They because a lot of people, and I won't get too deep off into this, but a lot of people I saw on Twitter were freaking out because there's a scene that happens in the show regarding the Sandman himself, and people freaked out. I won't say what it is just yet. We'll talk about it during the spoiler section. But that's like why I always tell people, the Endless can look like whoever they want, however they want, because they're not real. I mean, they're real, but they're not like flesh and blood normal human beings. They are concepts that are well beyond the imaginings of humans. But getting back into it, I loved just about everybody's performance in the show. Pretty much everyone was great. Was Boyd Holbrook, who plays the Corinthian.
Yeah,
I thought he was fantastic.
Really good.
That dude was fantastic. Like, so good.
I don't want to bring up Marvel in this, but I'm gonna have to, because that was the first thing that popped into my head, because that was the first time I was introduced to that actor. But
Logan,
vibes of how he was on Logan. Which is like this really smooth, really cool Southern drawl. I'm threatening you, but I'm being really, really polite and sincere. So I really like Corinthian in this. Really, really did. Read, I think it's called Nightmare Country.
Nightmare Country.
That.
And he has his own other spinoff too. There actually is like, I think, a Sandman universe, the Corinthian, that you can pick up. But I've always liked him as an actor, because he just, I don't know, something about him. I just feel like he has a charisma about him that just makes him, you almost want to, and they actually do this with the show. They make you almost want to root for him, just because. For those who aren't familiar with the Sandman comics, Dream is not a nice person. In the comics, starting out, Dream is kind of a dick, and he's petty, and he's very arrogant. In the comics, and they do depict that in this show. And there's moments where there's certain characters, case in point, the Corinthian, who is a bad guy. He's a villain. The Corinthian kills people. He's a serial killer. But you almost kind of want to root for him, because what he wants isn't necessarily wrong. I mean, to kill people, wrong. But the fact that he wants to be more than just a nightmare that exists in the dreaming, Because there are other characters that come up throughout the course of the series that kind of want the same thing. They don't want to just be stuck in the dreaming. They want to experience other things. They don't just want to be a dream. They don't just want to be a nightmare. And the cold calculus that Dream meets them with, you kind of go, dude, who the fuck are you? Fuck you, dude. No, come on, man. I just want to go out. I just want to stretch my legs. And Dream's like, no, you can't do it. No, you can't have it. You're a dream.
There's a certain episode I'm gonna I want to talk about that basically proves your point to a T, but we'll wait till later.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, look at this. Look how he got his nose turned
looks
up.
Like a smug prick right there.
Yeah. Which honestly, to be fair, I now understand why Neil Gaiman was so high on Tom Sturridge for this role, because he does. Going back and reading the Sandman comics recently for the video that I did for it, I was like, yeah, dude, this guy is Dream. He is Dream. I believe that he is Dream. But yeah, everybody in this was good. I think, once again, I'm not trying to be down on it, but the one actor that I actually felt wasn't, and I'm not saying that, that she was bad. I'm not saying that she was bad, but I felt the one actor who I felt wasn't bringing it quite on the level that I felt she could. I want to make sure that I'm being fair here. Vanessa Samanyai or Samanyai. I probably fucked this whole girl's name up. I didn't think she was as good as the rest of the cast. There were some moments where she kind of came off a little stunted. She did a good job as Rose. She made me believe she was Rose, but there were some moments where I just felt like the rest of the cast was just so good that a lot of the times I felt like they were acting circles around her. But yeah, once again, not saying she was bad. She was up against some stiff competition. I'm not gonna lie, just about everybody who was in a scene with Tom Sturridge, you had to bring it.
People in the chat called it before you said it.
Oh yeah. I'm just saying. Here's the thing. And once again, I just want to make sure that I'm being brutally honest here. I want to make sure I'm being clear here. It's not that she was bad, but it's just that, man, every time she was on scene with Tom Sturridge, he was literally, y'all remember Harlem Nights?
Yeah.
Remember the scene where Eddie Murphy, Quick, and him and Vera, they throwing hands with each other. The part where he's like dancing around her. He's like, oh yeah, like.
I will word for word. Don't tell me.
But that's what I felt Tom Sturridge. I felt Tom Sturridge was doing that around her in every scene. Like he was just dancing around her. He just fake. Bop!
Quick didn't get his ass whooped. Quick.
Exactly.
Quick pause. Why?
Felix actually pointed out perfectly. So the problem is the rest of the cast was vibing so hard that her just being good made her look bad. And that's my point. That's my whole entire point. I'm not saying that she wasn't bringing it, but she just didn't go as hard in the paint as everybody else was. Everybody in this show was acting their ass off. Even, oh my God, Mason Alexander Park was another one. Mason Alexander Park was another actor that really brought it. And it's so sad because they're not in the show very much. They play Desire. They play Desire in the show. They're not in it very much, but when they are, you can tell they are having too much fun. Much fun. And
the first time I saw them, I don't know why I thought this, but like literally the first time I saw them, I was just like, okay, yeah, they enjoying themselves. This ain't a role. They just
yeah. they just they're like yeah. I'm into this. But no, everybody else, like even the young lady who plays Death, Kirby Howe Baptiste, you could tell she was bringing it. She was bringing it. Her scenes with Dream. I was like, dude, this is amazing. I wish that she was in it more, but I mean, I know she will be later on because the nature of the comics. But what was it? Gwendolyn Christie. Gwendolyn Christie was bringing it. Like I was like, man, I'm not gonna lie. I got what was it? What was the name of the guy that played Lucifer on the TV show? Was Tom Ellis?
Yeah.
It's like I liked his Lucifer, but his Lucifer is in a very different place than where Lucifer is by the time you get to the Sandman comics take place before the show. That version of Lucifer is a very different Lucifer than the one that you meet in Sandman, and she nailed it. She absolutely fucking nailed it. But yeah, literally that it. Like I literally have virtually no other criticisms of the show other than Vanessa and her portrayal of Rose. That's it. And not like once again, not as bad. Just she didn't go as hard in the paint as everyone else did.
You kind of you threw off my whole vibe because the scene you posted with Death and Morpheus sitting. That's one of I ain't gonna talk about it now, but goddamn that fucking episode, man.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you kind of threw me off when you posted that again. I thought about the episode and I'm just like, yo.
Yeah.
But I understand why you would say what you said about Rose, and apparently quite a few people would agree with that sentiment. I don't want to say the other actor's name who played Lucifer as well, because then you open a whole can of worms. And
yeah.
People were all on Twitter.
yeah.
But I will say that I liked. Is she the mountain? Is she the mountain on Game of Thrones?
No. She was Brienne of Tarth. She was Brienne.
I thought everybody said she was real tall, so they call her the mountain. Because I was
she is very tall.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, she's now. Granted, I think they actually did enhance her height a little bit to make her taller than Dream, but she's 6'3". She is 6'3".
Let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
As someone who read the book, and I'll ask you all in the chat this as well. Was that bird? Was that Raven
Matthew?
in the books as well? Was Matthew in the books as well?
Yes, he was. Yeah, Matthew the Raven is from the books.
How did you feel about Matthew in the book? And I'm happy that people in chat are confirming it, because I didn't want to say it was Patton Oswalt, because I was thinking that was Patton.
No, it was Patton. It was Patton. Yeah, that was Patton.
Was he as? What's a nice way to say this? There's no nice way to say this. How did you feel about Matthew in the show?
I liked him. Okay. I liked him. Yeah, well, I mean, but the thing is, I will say this. A lot of the scenes that he shows up in, he doesn't actually show up in all of them in the comics. I think, and I want to say, I might be misremembering this, but the issue where Dream goes to hell, Matthew, I don't remember being there for that.
Oh, bro. We can't. We'll talk about it in spoilers.
Okay, but yeah, Matthew the Raven, Matthew the Raven, right there, bam.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Matthew the Raven, and he is a talking Raven. but yeah, it's awesome.